So today, we're diving into something that, let's be honest, most of us dread: moving. But what we're really looking at is how technology can completely transform one of the most stressful experiences out there. We're going to explore a case study of a system that's not just about booking jobs. It's about building genuine trust in an industry where that's pretty hard to find. All right, let's jump right in. I want you to just think back to the last time you had to find movers. What's the first thing that pops into your head? For most of us, it's that sinking feeling of uncertainty, isn't it? You're making a ton of phone calls, you're leaving voicemails, you're just waiting for someone to call you back, all while you're wondering, am I getting a fair price? Are these people going to show up? Are my things going to be safe? The whole process is just packed with anxiety. And the difference between the old way and the new way is, well, it's night and day. The old way is this mess of playing phone tag, dealing with prices you can't see, and getting stuck on high-pressure sales calls. But what if you could swap all of that for instant quotes, total transparency, and putting you, the customer, in control? That's how you turn that feeling of anxiety into confidence. That's how you get a wow moment. So here's how we're going to break it all down today. First, we'll really nail down the industry's core problem. Then, we'll look at this solution that's built on creating a wow experience. We're going to get into the nuts and bolts of how the system actually works, explore the psychology that makes it so darn effective, and finally, we'll talk about what this means for the future of moving, and really, any service business. Okay, so let's start right at the beginning, the problem. The way most moving companies have traditionally operated is, from a customer's point of view, fundamentally broken. By forcing you to pick up the phone just to get a basic price, they create friction right from the get-go. And yeah, it's designed to get you into a sales pitch, but what it really does is start the entire relationship off on a footing of anxiety and, you guessed it, mistrust. So what's the alternative? Well, it's a system built from the ground up to just wow you. This whole approach flips the script. It moves away from high-pressure sales tactics and instead focuses on empowering the customer. The entire goal is to impress you at every single touchpoint, building a relationship on trust right from that very first click. And this quote right here, it just captures that new mindset perfectly. It's not about who has the slickest sales pitch anymore. It's about who creates the best, smoothest customer journey. You know, if every single interaction feels positive and impressive, from the moment they land on your website to the final booking confirmation, the sale is pretty much already made. Okay, so that sounds great in theory, but how do you actually build a system that creates that wow effect? Let's pop the hood and deconstruct the engine of this thing. And to make it super simple to understand, we're going to use an analogy that I think you'll get right away. I want you to think of this entire sales system like it's a high-performance car. A car isn't just its engine, right? It needs a transmission, it needs a battery, it needs a navigation system, and all those parts have to work together perfectly to get you where you're going. Well, this sales system is built on that exact same idea of seamlessly integrated parts. So let's break down these 4 core components. First, you have the engine. That's the website, powering that all-important first impression. Then you have the transmission, the web forms, which capture leads smoothly. The battery is the client portal, providing the energy for conversions. And finally, the navigation system. That's the AI and support that guides the customer all the way to booking. So let's start with the engine. The website is your starting line, and it's built on a really simple but powerful idea. People hire people, not trucks. By using a video-first strategy with friendly, real faces, you immediately build an emotional connection. It just screams professionalism and trustworthiness. The whole goal is to start chipping away at that stress and reframe the experience as something manageable, maybe even, dare I say, enjoyable. Next up, we've got the transmission, and this is where it gets really clever. Instead of a boring old static form, this is an interactive experience. As you're filling out your details, you see a little animated truck moving along a path. And crucially, it's giving you real-time pricing, so there are 0 surprises. This is just a brilliant bit of psychology. By making the whole thing feel visual and almost like a game, it completely reduces the friction of filling out a form and keeps you hooked in a positive way. Now, the client portal. You can almost call this the heart of the system. It's what gives customers total control. They can log in, see every detail of their price breakdown, change their move date, even edit their inventory list. This creates something called the familiarity effect. By giving clients a trusted, personal space they can keep coming back to, it keeps them engaged with your brand and actively dials down their anxiety. And finally, we get to the navigation system. A 24/7 AI assistant is there to answer common questions in an instant, which empowers customers to find answers on their own schedule. And you'll notice gamification pops up again. Fun little illustrations, progress bars. These aren't just for kicks. It's a very deliberate design choice to make the whole process feel less intimidating and more helpful, which, again, reduces stress. So we've seen the 4 key components that make the whole car run. But honestly, the technology itself is only half the story. The real genius here is the human psychology it taps into to build what feels like unshakable trust. You know, we all like to think we make our decisions based on cold, hard logic. But the truth is, most of them are driven by emotion. We choose services that make us feel safe, that make us feel confident. This system is designed to create those feelings right from the start. And once a customer feels good about the experience, suddenly a premium price feels right. It feels justified. The logic just lines up to support the emotion. I mean, think about it. Nothing destroys trust faster than feeling like you're being tricked or that something's being hidden from you. This is why radical transparency is so incredibly powerful. By showing the price immediately and clearly, the system attacks the single biggest source of anxiety head on. It sends a powerful message. We have nothing to hide. And that simple act builds a massive foundation of trust in an instant. This right here reveals a huge shift in modern sales. All those interactive things we talked about, the little animated truck, the client portal, they're not just window dressing. They have a very clear business purpose. The more time a potential customer spends interacting with your brand in a positive way, the more invested they become. It turns a boring transaction into a memorable experience, and that dramatically increases the chances they're going to book with you. Okay, let's bring this all home and look at the actual real-world impact. We've seen the how and we've seen the why. Now let's talk about the results and what this kind of digital-first thinking really means for the future of the entire service industry. I absolutely love this quote because it just cuts right to the heart of it. A traditional website might get you a list of names and phone numbers, leads, but this system, it delivers something so much more valuable. It gives you educated, engaged, and confident people who have already bought into your process. They're not just leads anymore. They're practically customers already. And this chart really shows you the tangible benefits for the business. First, the lead quality goes way up. The sales process gets so much easier because your team is talking to people who are already warm and educated on your service. And because you're less dependent on the phone, more bookings just happen automatically online, freeing up your team to focus on what matters most. And what's great is that this whole system is designed to scale. A small 1 or 2 truck operation can instantly look just as professional and trustworthy as a massive company. And a huge fleet can integrate this system right into their existing CRM software to create incredible efficiency across their entire operation. So let's just zoom out for a second here. This isn't just about moving companies. This is a snapshot of a huge shift happening across basically all service industries. Customer expectations are digital first now. People expect to be able to do everything online, and this is the key, they are absolutely willing to pay more for an experience that is seamless, transparent, and trustworthy. So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. What does the future of customer service actually look like? If this case study is any indication, it's a future built on empowerment and transparency. It's about using technology not to replace human connection, but to build trust in a much smarter and more scalable way. And it makes you wonder, what other industries are just waiting to be completely transformed by these same principles?